Representative Ajani Oyetunji. The representative commended the proactive efforts of the state government in containing the disease and emphasized the federal government's intervention in combating the crisis.
We are here to support the state in response to hemorrhagic septicemia outbreak which actually occurred in Taraba State. Following the report we received from the State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security on 27th of July 2024, about 15,000 cattle were affected with more than 1,000 deaths in 6 villages of Sardana local government in Taraba State. And the purpose of the response is to come and complement the state response activities, to synergize and also to strengthen some of the response activities. We are so very glad that the state has been very proactive in terms of their response to curtail the ongoing outbreak.
The special advisor to the Taraba State Governor on Agriculture and Food Security, Zanna Mekaswa, accepted the federal government's delegation on behalf of the state. He expressed gratitude to the federal government for providing supplies to combat the outbreak. Mekaswa requested the establishment of a veterinary diagnostic center in the state, given its large-scale livestock farming operations.
Aware that cattle business is a major business of our people, and the government will not sit down, fold our arms, and see our businesses go out of our hands just like that due to diseases. And so it is possible that it could spread beyond the state, and always also ask that some of the, when we have to take samples to other places, it shouldn't be. It should also be supported to set up our own diagnostic centers here so that we can always have the means of ascertaining whatsoever that is bedeviling us here within the state.
The collaboration between the state and federal governments is regarded as an essential measure to avert future outbreaks and safeguard the livelihoods of farmers.
All right, welcome back. The IPPG says execution of long-term crude oil sales and purchase agreement under willing buyer, willing seller framework was sacrosanct and no regulatory fiat could set it aside, urging that refiners be allowed to negotiate crude oil sales and purchase agreement with producers and their marketing agents in line with industry best practice. Now, Mustafa Iwenla, public affairs analyst, joins me now for more discussions. Thanks for joining us, Mustafa.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, fine. I was going to ask you what the situation is, with the fuel situation with you specifically, because most Nigerians are buying between 850, 1,000, or even on above.
Well, again, it is very sad and unfortunate that Nigeria, one of the major oil producing nations in the world, is going through this mess again. I can tell you that even getting here this morning was very tough for me, because my driver was practically at the gas station all today. But again, I think over time we've overflogged this issue with in our oil sector. The issue with our NNPC, and even the federal government, I think there's so much that needs to happen. In a situation where we have 4 government-owned refineries, the 2 in Port Harcourt are moribund. The one in Kaduna is moribund. The one in Warri also is moribund. And every other time we hear the government allocating, monies and huge amounts of. Just recently we saw that the Senate is approving almost 11.35 trillion approved for turnaround maintenance for these 4 refineries last year. Those monies were not put to good use. And this is always the question: why do we always approve monies that some of our leaders will siphon? And that's the result of what is happening now. In a country like Nigeria, where we have, we are blessed with crude oil. We have almost 8 or 10 states that are producing, oil producing states in this country, and they're doing so well. But the conversion of that same crude oil to get it to a refined state where it now becomes usable is the problem. A country where we have to export crude oil at a very huge amount to the country to start for resale is the problem.
Each time we have this fuel scarcity, the NNPC comes and sometimes it says that it's as a result of logistics issue and all of that. But right now, Ipman is saying that the NNPC is not actually living to its agreement of the 70-30, that they have abandoned them for the major marketers and of course DAPMan.
Well, it's sad because the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, there are more. We have well over 3,000, part of their members who run filling stations. I think the NNPC needs to live up to its expectation of, giving them petroleum products as at when due. We've seen where their boss is complaining that even sometimes when they apply to purchase petroleum product from NNPC, it takes them 4 to 5 months before they take delivery. And all these are issues, and even sometimes they don't even get delivery from NNPC. So most of them now have to resort to petroleum depots to buy their petroleum product, and they get it at a very high cost. NNPC is selling for about 560 naira, naira for the pump price, but when they go to depot, they buy as high as 850 naira per liter. And these are issues. So when they are getting for 850 to 700 naira per liter from the depot, of course they will have to sell. They will also want to make profit. So yes, on Saturday I bought petrol at a particular station in my area for 1,000 naira per liter. And even if you want to get 1,000 naira per liter today, I don't even think if you go around even VI now, you will see a very long queue of vehicles parked. Some have been there since midnight, just trying to get fuel. And these are the issues. I don't know when this is going to stop. Every other month, every other time, we keep having fuel scarcity in Nigeria. And we are wasting our productive hours on long queues trying to get fuel. A country where we produce crude oil, I don't think we should be going through this problem. One of the reasons why the federal government removed fuel subsidy is to, nip in the bud a lot of these issues that comes with fuel scarcity and all that. And I thought that at the time when fuel subsidy was removed, we will no longer see any queue on the road again, because such monies that was taken from the subsidy will have been used to improve that sector. But this is the problem. So I think the federal government needs to come up with a serious policy that would nip in the bud this issue with fuel scarcity. We cannot. Nigeria is not the only country that uses fuel. Other countries, I am opportune to have traveled to a lot of countries, and it is only in this country I see fuel scarcity all the time. The last time there was a fuel scarcity in the UK is more than 50 years ago. And but Nigeria, it happens every year. So all these issues have to stop. So I think that NNPC, aside from the government-owned refineries, we have a total number of 10 refineries in Nigeria, including in government-owned refineries. We have Delta, we have the OPAC refinery in Delta, we have the Walter-Smith refinery in Edo State. We have quite a number of them, and these have several capacities. The one in OPAC has about 1,000 barrels per day capacity. The one in Walter-Smith refinery, these are private-owned refinery. But it is very sad that the government-owned refineries, the one in Warri, the one in Kaduna, the two in Port Harcourt, they are not working. They are moribund.
Dangote is still in the news. You just talked about refinery and the issues they have, getting crude supply. Right now in the news, the IPPG, that's the Independent Petroleum Products Producers Group, they are saying that compelled to sell crude oil to the Dangote refineries and other local refineries, and they are saying that it is not in their best interest, and it's not even part of the agreement, that the NNPC has a capacity that it can actually give out to refiners. But in your opinion, is this move the best way, and do you really think the IPPG is not really helping out to push these products to the local refiners per se?
So whether we like it or not, there has to be a lot of synergy between even the downstream sector, the upstream, and the IPPGs, the NNPC. But for the want of time, I'll say that selling. We saw that the president gave an express instruction to NNPC to sell crude oil to Dangote and other local refineries in Naira. And I think that that was very laudable, because we've said it that we spend so much on exporting this crude oil. And if these local refineries are saying that, okay, sell to us, Nigeria is a Naira economy. You can't be selling to us in dollars. So sell to us in Naira, so it will reduce our expenses, our overhead cost of producing this, converting this crude oil to, finished product. So I think the NNPC has no choice but to comply. The president has given an express instruction, and they have to comply, because, they have to, give these local refineries an enabling environment. They have to give them a level playing ground. Dangote's refinery is worth over $19 billion US, and it's saying that, okay, it wants to drastically reduce this. So I think there's a lot of cabal in our oil sector, and most of them don't even want these local refineries to work, and that's where we have a problem. So if we have 10 local refineries, we have 10, let's say 4 out of it is moribund, which are the government owned. They keep allocating money every year, but we don't see the result. So let's get the other 6 that are private owned to work. Let us get them to work, and let us give them an enablement. So drastically, the price of fuel will reduce in a country where we depend so much on petrol. We depend so much.
The question I really need to ask is the issue with the NNPC, because the IPPG members are saying that they already supply to local refiners, that the NNPC is well positioned to address the crude supply shortage faced by local refiners by utilizing its statutory crude allocation to meet domestic consumption needs. If NNPC has this capacity, why are they not doing so?
So again, I think somewhere along the line, a lot of efforts, there's the honest truth.